As of right now, we are just a couple hours away from the beginning of the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm really excited for it, and I'm also really excited to make this bracket as well. It's something I haven't done on the channel before in years past. I have went through and done my predictions for each round over the past couple of years, but I haven't actually went on NHL.com and submitted a bracket, so I figured this would be a ton of fun. As you can see here, we do have our own league for the channel, the OhNyquist Bracket Challenge, 251 members, so a huge thanks to everybody that joined and to everybody that submitted a bracket. I will be giving out some type of prize to the winner in the end. I'm just not 100% sure what that prize is going to be yet, but once I do figure it out, I will of course let you guys know. I've been thinking really hard over the past 24 hours on who I'm going to take for each series, and I'll be honest, I'm still undecided for some, so I guess let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and submit a bracket. Starting off in the Western Conference, we have the Vegas Golden Knights against the Chicago Blackhawks, the 1 versus 8 seed. And although Chicago put on a show and upset the Oilers in their qualifying round, I'm definitely taking the Vegas Golden Knights. I think they have one of the best teams in the NHL. You look at their forward group, top through bottom, extremely deep, a very solid decor, and of course have one of the best goaltending tandems in the NHL with Robin Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury. That's one interesting storyline heading into this series, however, though. Robin Lehner against his former team. Obviously, the Blackhawks traded him away at the deadline. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm definitely taking the Golden Knights to beat the Blackhawks. Next up, we have the 2 seed versus 7 seed, Colorado versus Arizona. This is another one I didn't have to think too hard about. I'm a big fan of the roster Colorado has right now. I think they could easily go on a run all the way to the Stanley Cup final. I'm taking them to beat the Arizona Coyotes. Dallas and Calgary. This is an interesting one. Dallas is the 3 seed and Calgary is the 6 seed. However, I honestly think I am leaning a little bit more towards Calgary. I was very impressed with their play against the Winnipeg Jets. Like I said in my review of the qualifying round, it looked like a completely different team from last year's playoffs. They played with an edge, played a chippy game, and if they can continue to do that and they got their top guys rolling like Monahan, Gaudreau, and Lindholm, I don't see Dallas beating them. I'm taking the Calgary Flames, so my first upset kind of here. The St. Louis Blues against the Vancouver Canucks. The 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Definitely going to be a very interesting series, but I am taking the St. Louis Blues over the Canucks, the defending Stanley Cup champions against a young team, their first year back into the playoffs after the rebuild. It would be a pretty big upset if they won, in my opinion, although it is 5 versus 4 seed. You just got to think that St. Louis, with the experience that they have, should be able to win this series over the Canucks. So that's who I have winning all the first round matchups in the Western Conference, and now let's move over to the East. First off, we have the Philadelphia Flyers against the Montreal Canadiens, the 1 versus 8 seed. Although Montreal was extremely impressive in that qualifying round, and Carey Price can definitely steal them a couple of games in this series, I am taking the Philadelphia Flyers. They are playing some amazing hockey right now. They absolutely tore through the round-robin tournament in the Eastern Conference to lock up that 1 seed. I'm a big fan of the team they have right now and the way they're playing. I think they could definitely go on a run. I'm taking them to beat the Canadiens. The Tampa Bay Lightning against the Columbus Blue Jackets. A rematch of last year's first round. I'm not sure if Victor Hedman or Steven Stamkos are playing in Game 1. I'm not sure if they're going to play in the entire series. I haven't really seen anything on that just yet. Obviously, I think that could be a huge deciding factor here, but I'm actually going upset. I'm taking the Blue Jackets to upset the Tampa Bay Lightning just like they did in last year's first round. I just don't trust Tampa Bay, especially what we saw from them in last year's playoffs. I could definitely be wrong, and I would not be surprised if Tampa Bay steamrolls Columbus, but I'm taking upset here. I don't think it's going to be a sweep again or anything like that, but Columbus is just such a well-coached team with fantastic goaltending. I think that gives them a chance in any series. So yeah, again, I'm taking upset here. Next up, we have the Washington Capitals against the New York Islanders, the 2018 Stanley Cup champions against their former coach, Barry Trotz on Long Island. It's kind of an interesting storyline coming into this series. Loved what I saw from the Islanders against the Panthers. I think they played a very good, complete game. However, I am going with the Washington Capitals. They were just such a good and consistent team throughout the entire regular season, and although that does kind of feel like an eternity ago, I'm still taking them over the Islanders in round 1. Moving on to the final first round matchup in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Bruins against the Carolina Hurricanes, the 4 versus 5 seed. Pretty crazy that Boston dominated the regular season, won the President's Trophy, and now here they are in the first round as the 4 seed, but they didn't play good in the round-robin tournament at all, and I think it is going to be pretty tough for them to just flip a switch and immediately start playing better once they're actually in their series against the Canes. And I did see on Twitter today that Dougie Hamilton is returning for Game 1, which is obviously a huge addition for Carolina. He was playing some unbelievable hockey before he went down with that injury. I'm actually taking the Hurricanes in this series. That might be an upset for some people. Some people might think it isn't an upset. I just think Carolina is such a good team. They're so deep. They are well coached as well. Their decor is amazing, and it just got better with the addition of Dougie Hamilton coming back into the lineup. So in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals, I have the Carolina Hurricanes taking it this time instead of the Boston Bruins. Alright, so as you guys can see, we are now into the second round, and I feel like with these brackets, it does get a lot tougher to predict once you're past the first round, because we don't even know if these matchups are going to happen. It's just solely based off of our bracket. But Calgary versus Vegas would be an interesting series, and while I do think Calgary would put up a fight, I'm sticking with the Golden Knights, kind of for the same reasons I said as to why they would beat the Blackhawks. I just think they have one of the best teams in the NHL. They're the 1 seed for a reason, and I think they're poised to go on a pretty good run here. So I'm taking Vegas to go all the way to the conference finals. And next we have St. Louis and Colorado. Boy, would that be a tough matchup if it does happen. Colorado, a lot of people's pick to come out of the Western Conference this year. And then the St. Louis Blues, obviously the defending Stanley Cup champions. They've been through this before. Actually, I don't even know if you can say that this year because no one's really been through this. There was actually fans in the building last year, but you guys know what I mean. As a group, this team has won the Stanley Cup. Man, is this a tough series to predict. I'm going to go with Colorado, but I would not be surprised if it's the other way around. And the fact that I have the 1 and 2 seed in the conference finals against each other is a red flag already. You guys know how crazy the NHL is, and I'm sure both of these teams will probably get upset in the first round, just knowing how this year has been. Moving on back over to the Eastern Conference, the 1 versus 7 seed Philadelphia Flyers against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I like Columbus a lot, and they do have amazing goaltending, and all the reasons I said before in talking about their series against Tampa. I am going to take the Philadelphia Flyers over them. I'm just a big fan of Philly's team. Again, like I said, they're playing some amazing hockey right now, and I think they can definitely go on a run. The Washington Capitals against the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm taking Carolina here. So I have the 5 seed and the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals and the 1 and 2 seed in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to stick with. Now, in terms of who I think is going to make the Stanley Cup Finals. You know what? Give me Carolina. And in the West, I'll go Vegas. And I think that would be a really, really entertaining matchup. Vegas against Colorado. I would hope that would go 7 games. I think we get some amazing hockey in that series. But yeah, like once you get into like the conference finals and predicting through the entire bracket, it's hard to give reasoning as to why you think one team would beat the other because so much can change from the first round through the second round to the third round. Injuries can happen. Teams can just not look so good. You know what I mean? So it does get a lot tougher, but that's my prediction. Vegas, Carolina in the Stanley Cup final. Who do I think is going to win the Stanley Cup? Give me the Golden Knights. Enter goals scored in the Stanley Cup final series total. I kind of want to do the math in my head, but I'll just fire off a random number, I guess. I think it would be a relatively long series, like 6 or 7 games. You know, maybe 5 to 6 goals scored per game or something along the lines of that. We'll go 28 next. Boom. So, the bonus round. Select a number of games for each of these matchups. Vegas over Chicago, 5. Colorado over Arizona. I think I'll go 5 with that one as well. Calgary over Dallas. I'm actually going to go 7 games for that one. St. Louis over Vancouver. I'll go 6 games for that. Philly over Montreal. I'll give Montreal 2 games. I think Carey Price is definitely good enough to win them 2 games. Columbus over Tampa Bay. I'm going to go 7 games for that one. Washington over the Islanders. We'll go 6. And Carolina over Boston. We'll go 7 games for that one as well. So I don't have any sweeps here in the first round. There probably will at least be a sweep, but like I don't know which one of these teams would not win a game in their series. Like the NHL, again, the parity is just crazy. Any team can win on any given night, unless you're the Red Wings, of course. But yeah, so let's click next. Your bracket is now complete. This bracket will be entered into the following leagues: OhNyquist Bracket Challenge and the NHL League. I have read, even though I didn't, submit the bracket. Let's see. I'm probably going to print it off eventually, so here's my bracket. Here's all the league members, so shout out to you guys if you can see your name here. But again, thank you so much for joining. This should be a lot of fun, and again, I will give out some type of prize to the winner. I just don't know what that's going to be yet. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day. I hope you enjoy some hockey, and I hope your bracket does well. I'm sure it's going to do a lot better than mine. My only hope is to do better than I did in my predictions for the qualifying round. I think I went 2 for 8. I think I predicted the Canucks series right, and what other series did I predict right? I honestly forget. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. I didn't do too well in my predictions for that, so hopefully I can do a little bit better here. That is going to wrap up this video on my full bracket predictions for the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. Again, thank you so much to everybody that joined the league and submitted a bracket. I'm sure this will be a lot of fun to see who's last the longest and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to go down there and drop a like on it. That is the best way to show your support. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys all in the next video.